Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $25,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 54-year-old female. First thing I recommend is just go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com. We have these free quoters on just about every page. Just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount, put your birthday in there, put the rest of the info, click the Get Quotes button. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies with the lowest rates based off your age, gender, and the state that you live in. It's really terrific. Take advantage of that. Also, we've got our phone number, 888-862-9456. Call us and one of our agents can help you out over the phone, get you all the information you require. Now, the first thing we recommend for a 54-year-old female looking at $25,000 worth of insurance is considering, is that enough coverage or is that appropriate for her final expense needs? Now, typically final expense would be either a cremation or a burial. Let's take a look at that cremation first. So the average cost of a cremation in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. And that's if you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, if you're going to have some sort of a ceremony, like a celebration of life or remembrance ceremony, in addition to the cremation, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500, depending on the part of the country you live in. But as far as coverage needs, what would you need? Well, for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would typically recommend around $5,000 to $7,000 worth of coverage. Now, you might ask yourself, well, Randy, you said, $2,000 for the cremation, but we're looking at $5,000 for the insurance. What's the deal? Well, the deal is our 54-year-old female probably wants to live to 64 or 74, maybe 84. And we know that prices go up over time due to inflation. So we're just adding in some extra coverage into the policy, but we're locking it in at her youngest age as of right now. And what that does is long-term that protects the policy, protects it from inflationary price increases. But short-term, it provides a little extra coverage just in case there's some extra expenses, maybe medical bills or credit cards or something like that, given the gift of time, if you'd lived longer, you would have paid those off. So it's got the dual benefit. It takes care of the inflation side, but it also provides some extra funds up front, just in case you don't live as long as you thought you would. Now, for that cremation where you're going to have the ceremony, we'd typically recommend maybe $7,000 to $10,000. And again, that protects it long-term inflation wise on the back end, but on the front end, there's a little extra money in case there's some extra bills because you didn't live as long as you thought you were going to live. Now, for a burial, the actual cost of a burial in the United States right now is right around $10,000. If you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with a $10,000 check, they'll work with you. It's hard to imagine they'd tell you to get out the door and, then you can walk 2 blocks down the road to their competitors and give them the money. But just understand, $10,000 as of right now, that's minimal. That's not a fancy funeral by any means. That's kind of what the cost of it is today. So if you were looking at getting $10,000, for a female, that's going to take care of kind of the most immediate needs. But if you want to inflation-proof your plan, you're going to have to look at more coverage later. And that's when, a 54-year-old female might look at, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. 25,000, right? Kind of that's what we're looking at in this video. So just understand, the more coverage you get, the more inflation-proof your plan is. Also, if you want kind of a more fancy, extravagant affair, or the body's got to be transported or anything like that, you're going to need more coverage too. So, most of the people we help are on a fixed or limited income. So sometimes they have to start smaller, like that $10,000 or $15,000. And then we can always revisit that in the future and add more coverage later. Now, some people will say, hey, I want to leave money behind for the kids too, so I want to get like a $40,000 or $50,000 policy. And then they see the pricing on the $50,000 and it's just beyond their means, and they go, oh, that's it. I'm not going to do anything then. And we have to kind of talk to them and say, hey, you came in here wanting to take care of your final expense needs. Why don't we take care of that first? Because we know you're going to die. You 100% are going to die. And then if you want, we can always follow up later and get a separate policy for the kids. But just to say, if you can't do everything all at once, you're not going to do anything. Man, that's not fair to the kids, because when you pass away, then the kids are going to be stuck with everything. And they're probably, in order to pay this off, they're probably going to have to put it on their credit cards at 26% interest. And you will have just strapped them with debt for years and years and years. Yeah, so don't do that to your kids. So there's plenty of ways around it, and we can help you out with that. Now, one of the first things we always tell people is, you want to get first day coverage or benefits. You do not want a 2-year waiting period. You want first day coverage. We'll talk about that 2-year waiting period in a moment here. But what first day coverage means is that hypothetically, if your plan were approved and issued today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to write that check for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, whatever it is. It's the best coverage. It's also the lowest pricing. Now, some people would say, hey, Randy, you're right. I do like the first day coverage, but I've got some health issues. And, I know those plans ask health questions, and I'm a little worried I won't qualify. To which we say, hey, that's our problem, not your problem, at least from an insurance standpoint. And what we mean by that is we work with a whole bunch of different insurance companies, and they all have different underwriting requirements, and they all ask different health questions, of course. So with that first day coverage, I mean, a lot of times people would say, you're right, Randy, I do want the first day coverage, but I hear they ask health questions, and I've got some health issues, and I'm worried I won't qualify. To which we say, hey, that's our problem. That's not your problem, at least from an insurance standpoint. And what we mean by that is we work with a lot of different insurance companies. They all have different health questions. They all have different underwriting requirements. And right now, we're getting people right around 95% of the time, we're getting people qualified for first day coverage or benefits. Really, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for that is if you had some really significant health issues, like maybe you'd waited too long and you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you had dialysis, or you were in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd probably refer you to a different insurance company. Another thing that seems to happen on a weekly basis is somebody will call up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. And now the body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral home director's not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get a check from the insurance company to pay the funeral home guy. We have to let them know that there is no insurance company in the United States that's going to offer a policy on a dead person. Yeah, it's not how this works. You actually have to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And it's really sad that this family member passed away. And it's really like doubly sad that they didn't have any insurance. But you know what? They knew they were going to die. In the future, they probably looked at this insurance or thought about it, and they just kept putting it off. And then one day they just went and died. And now this is their family's burden and responsibility. And they're probably going to have to put it on credit cards and pay it off at 26% interest. And they will probably spend years paying this off. What a terrible legacy to leave behind just because you didn't do what was right and what was responsible. It's not anybody else's responsibility to pay your funeral and all that other stuff. So, yeah, don't leave that legacy behind. This insurance is affordable. If you need to, you can start small. We can always add more coverage. But don't be that person that does that. It's awful. Now, one thing we recommend, as I mentioned earlier, we don't recommend those plans with 2-year waiting periods. And Colonial Penn is, a fairly well-known company out there, I guess. They seem to advertise a lot on TV, that $9.95 plan. And, you may not have known this, but that $9.95 plan, by the way, that's a 2-year waiting period plan. Yeah, ouch, right? You probably didn't know that. Those commercials aren't very clear, are they? No. But Colonial Penn, they're not the only company that offers those 2-year waiting periods. There's other companies out there too, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber, gosh, so many other different companies. And some of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't fall for such nonsense. That's absolute garbage. We help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, our 54-year-old female probably just got done watching one of those Colonial Penn commercials. And she thought, oh my gosh, that's a slick commercial. It's beautiful. 54 years old, I'm probably going to get so much insurance for $9.95. I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. And then she talks to a Colonial Penn agent or looks it up online like we've done for you here and sees that for a 54-year-old female, 1 unit of coverage, $9.95 is only going to buy $1,802 worth of coverage. So that may be enough to cover a cremation where you come home in a cardboard box and urn in most parts of the country, except for it's got a 2-year waiting period. It's not going to pay out anything in the first 2 years. Yikes. Yeah. Why would you? Here's some advice. Never accept a 2-year waiting period policy when you qualify for first day coverage. You can have that 2-year waiting period and you're going to significantly overpay. Significantly. So there's a lot of people that would say that, these companies that offer these low teaser rates, that they actually don't even want to sell you that plan. They have it out there just for marketing, just to get your information, just to get you in their system. And then when they get you on the phone, they show you that rate and they show you how minimal it is. And then they try to talk you into more expensive coverage because it's more profitable for them. Yeah. Now, we're not saying Colonial Penn would ever do anything like that, but some people are fairly convinced of it. And I guess you may have to make up your own mind just by seeing that $995 is only going to pay out $1,802. Yikes. So let's take a look, because really we want to see if we can get $25,000 from them. The challenge is for a 54-year-old female, they max out at 15 units, and I'm not sure we can get 25,000. Let's take a look. Oh, you can get 27. We're going to have to drop down though. Here we go. There we go. That's, and again, you can't get 25,000 on the nose from them because they got per unit pricing. They sell by unit, not by pricing. Most other companies, you can ask for 25,000, they'll give it to you, but no, Colonial Penn's only going to let you get $25,228, because evidently that $228 is pretty important. But anyway, that's roughly $140 a month. So is that a good deal? Well, let's find out. Let's see what first day coverage would be. So we're going to do here 20,000 female, age 54, right there. Get quote. We're going to get a price in just a minute. But again, this is 25,000 for roughly around $140. And I want to show you. I want to go back and show you. I don't want you to accuse me of tricking anybody. $25,000 is going to be $60. So let me ask you this. And I want to show you here, level means first day coverage. That's what you want, first day coverage. Would you rather pay $60 for first day coverage, or would you rather pay $140 for the same amount of coverage, roughly within $228, for $140? Holy guacamole, that's a huge price difference. That's from $60 up to $140. If you go with Colonial Penn, you're going to overpay right around $80 a month more, and they're going to sock you with the 2-year waiting period, and you're going to overpay on your policy every single month. You're going to overpay an extra $80 a month that you shouldn't, and you're going to overpay on that for the rest of your life. And let's think about this. Our 54-year-old female, if she lives to age 64, so 80 times 12 months is $960 a month you'd be overpaying. If she lives 10 more years, you'd overpay right around $9,600 versus going with a company like this that we would recommend and we could help you get approved. Why would you ever get into the wrong policy knowing that you're going to take $9,600 after 10 years out of your bank account and deposit it into an insurance company's account? Boy, I tell you what, we believe that money's better off in your account rather than an insurance company's bank account. So let us help you be a smart consumer. Don't fall for marketing tricks, because it can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Imagine our female 54-year-old lives 20 years. That's going to be like approaching $20,000 you will have overpaid on a $25,000 policy. Be a smart consumer. If you're not a smart consumer, no shame whatsoever. Let us help you be a smart consumer. Let's look at some other pricing here. Let's see. We'll look at some other ones here. You'll be able to see all these different companies as well too. So, here's Limico. Level, yeah, but 87. So that's $27 more. I'm going to round that down to 25 for easy math. So $25 a month times 12 months is right around $300 a year you'll be overpaying. If our female goes from age 54 to 64, you have overpaid right around over 3,000, probably around 3,200 bucks. You know, why would you ever get involved with a company that's going to overcharge you $3,000 over the next 10 years? Again, we'd rather see that money in your pocket versus an insurance company's pocket. So let's see. Oh, here's another one. Lincoln Heritage. So they're a fine company, I guess, but look at that pricing. Oh my gosh. Yikes. That's quite a bit. It is level coverage, which is good. That's what we want. But yeah, I mean, look at that pricing. 92 bucks a month. So they've got a deal. Here's why it's so expensive. They've got a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2-3 different funeral homes on your behalf to get the lowest pricing. Maybe do a couple other things, but it's not free. They charge for that in the form of higher premiums. So, you know, it's so much more expensive though. Look at that. It's 92 versus 60. So that's $32 a month. I'm just going to round that down to $30 for easy math. So $30 a month times 12 months, that'd be an extra $360 a year you're overpaying. If our 54-year-old female makes it to age 64, you will have been overpaying an extra, right around $3,000. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth overpaying an insurance company around $3,000 more just to phone 2 or 3 funeral homes, maybe do a couple other things that may only take an hour or so to do? Man, a lot of people would say, boy, that's a good payday for the insurance company, about $3,000 an hour. And so we don't recommend you do that. We recommend you keep that money in your bank account rather than deposit that money into an insurance company's bank account. And what we can do and pretty much give you the same experience, close, is we recommend you allow us to help you get approved for the lower price insurance company. And then what we offer is a free download on our website with a free funeral and estate planning guide. You can download that off our website, print it out. Once it's printed out, you fill it out. Who gets what goes where, what you want to happen after you're gone. And when you're done with that, you just keep it with your insurance policy. And that way, when you pass away, your family members will have everything in one place. And they will know that you not only loved and protected them financially with the insurance, but you loved and protected them emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide, because everything will be done in writing. They'll just need to open that up and read it, and they'll know exactly what to do. And you will have provided the funds to take care of everything. And they will know that you not only loved and protected them in life, but you actually loved and protected them that one last time in death, exactly when they needed it the most, because they'll be grieving so much over your loss, but they'll know that you cared enough to take care of them even after you were gone. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. You know, if you want to leave a legacy like that behind, we can help you out. We're Funeral Funds of America. We've got a special quote for our YouTube visitors, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, where you can get find the best companies at the lowest rates. It's terrific. Take advantage of it. We'll save you money. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you over the phone with any questions you have. But, you know, if you've got an existing policy and you want to see if we can save you money on that or help you add more coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you are looking for brand new coverage, or you just have some questions about what might be appropriate for you or what you qualify for, we can help you out with that. But we look forward to that day where we can get you the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with this at some point in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.